Hello, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd on here on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. As you say, I have my very special guest. This is the last show of 2022. And so this is very significant for me. And the gentleman we have been knowing each other well over 40 odd years. We both met doing the same thing in numerology. We both met at the famous Tree of Life bookstore, which is considered the University of the corner of Lenox Avenue. And so it is such an honor and a pleasure to have my guest, which will be on soon, Brother Francis E. Revels Bay. All righty. So, everybody, a couple of things going on that you'll need to know. All righty. And first, let me do the Live with Lloyd Cosmic Forecast, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Please like, share, and subscribe, or please subscribe, share, and like. Either one, whatever you do, if you feel it's really like the show, want to share it, or subscribe to keep up with what's going on every Monday and Friday live, that would be greatly appreciated. But today is Wednesday, it's the 28th day of 2022. The sun is in Capricorn, the moon is in Pisces. It's a 9 universal month, a 3 universal day, a 4 universal week, a 1 universal day, excuse me. And this is the third day of Kwanzaa called Ujima, which means work and responsibilities. Okay. So by the time we come back on the 7th, Kwanzaa would be over. And then there's Nia and Kujikajalia and a couple of other things, terms that are used. So for those of you who are not familiar with Kwanzaa, that's how it's spelled. Marilana Karanga, who was born on July 14th, that I had the pleasure of meeting, is the one who came up with this Kwanzaa concept. And if you are Leo or Aquarius or Aries, or if you are born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 19th, the 22nd, 28th, or 31st of any month, well, this should be a good day for you too. So without further ado, I want to bring on my very distinguished guest, Brother Revels Bay. How we doing, boss?
Oh, I'm feeling great. try
Very,
try to
very
be
good.
try to be technological savvy so the iPad doesn't want to
Oh,
join us.
listen, we both doing the same thing, so don't even worry. I mean, I've taken me off the air. My lights went out, the camera went out, the sound. Brother, I've had it all. But
Yes,
you
I
know what?
know.
That's what makes it authentic. They can't be saying it's edited.
Nope.
It's
Real,
Photoshop or whatever they
real,
want
really live.
to. Rebels Bay, how you doing? Let me ask you this from one numerologist to another, because
hmm
people have asked me. Because somebody took it upon themselves to put me on TikTok, and it said about me talking about 2023 as a numerologist, sir, and you are superb and one of the best. What say you about 2023?
Well, I have a unique way of looking at numbers. So we say 2023.
Yes.
20 in numerology represents symbolically Pluto. Pluto is a higher vibrational planet than Mars, I believe. So let's say people born under the sign of Scorpio will feel like they're being activated a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it's also a year of good transformation. And it's interesting, we say actually the number 20 twice. We say 2023. So that
True.
root, yeah, so that root compound number 23 had on the end like that has a 20 standing behind it. So I would say like a double transformation. 23 sometimes could be attributed to like a Leo vibration. So Leo's born on the 23rd of July might find some interesting changes happening for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we reduce those numbers down to a 7. And so as a 7 universal year, people born under the 7 vibration, 7/16 or 25th, can actually push themselves through obstacles and actually gain a lot more courage to go out and do the things they want to do. But also, what they have to pay attention to is things that are yet not seen or uncovered. So, I would say to a lot of 7 people, If you're dealing with some things in the closet in your brain, make sure you go inside your mind and start clearing those thoughts and feelings out. So you're
Mm-hmm.
letting things out that you don't want to say. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think also for everybody, doesn't matter where you're born. I think this is going to time. This is going to be a year from here on out where we need to be very transparent with ourselves first. Like really get inside and go as deep as you can to make some changes or see where you might be lacking in certain things.
So
Uh,
in other words, you're saying don't try to fool yourself, but keep
right.
it real.
Yeah, keep it real with yourself. Then it's very easy for you to keep it real with other people. Now,
Makes sense. That
that
makes
does
perfect
that,
sense,
that
Rebel Bay.
doesn't mean you got to tell everybody your business, hang your laundry out there, but at least get to the things that you're comfortable with,
Sure,
especially the
sure.
things that create a lot of fear inside yourself. I was doing some meditation because I was asked somewhat the same thing by a couple of people, and I said, "Look, just we've been asked to go inside ourselves for a long time, so you might feel like you don't feel like going out and socializing too much. You still got to have a balanced life, but you're going to find yourself indoors more. If you're a
Hmm.
person that was a TV junkie, watching TV all the time, all of a sudden you just get up, you ain't watching any TV for a while.
Yeah.
You're getting up in a matter of silence. And so you're getting a chance to go inside. So I would suggest to people maybe if they can go learn some yoga, postures and see how that works. Learn some qigong. Find somebody that's teaching a tai chi chuan class. Start to explore these different things. All these things have a metaphysical bent to them, and they're going to open us up on a higher level. Plus, it will keep us from being entrapped by so much stuff that's thrown our way where we
Hmm.
don't have time to work on ourselves.
Hmm.
So we
Hmm.
can't let ourselves get sidetracked anymore.
Why do you think we are sidetracked? Is it because of information overload between everybody looking on their cell phones on subways and buses and walking in the
Oh yeah.
cold? Or
Well, just go back 40 years ago. We didn't have all this stuff. You had to talk to people.
you ain't lying.
And when you didn't have a cell phone, you had and didn't have a phone at home, you
No,
was
the
like,
phone was attached to the wall, okay,
well,
buddy? So you could only go but so far until they found a
but even those who didn't have a phone, who couldn't afford a phone, they either go next door or borrow somebody's phone, or you were walking down in the cold, get all the way
Yeah,
down there, phone
yeah.
busted up, and like, oh man, and you gotta hustle back, you know.
Do you think Revels Bay, this internet with everybody and their mother having a cell phone has been to our advantage or disadvantage, or what do you think?
I think it's both. Um, First of all, we've noticed, things that happen to a lot of people. Like I said, 30, 40 years ago, you'd never know until it hit the newspaper. You
True,
know,
true.
now
And it
you
was very
got,
selective at that.
yeah. So now people just can't get away with anything. Everybody's pulling out a cell phone now. Everybody's a street journalist, checking everything out. I think for the most part, for children, not to have too much access unless if that child happens to be kind of mature, then yeah, they're not going to be on their phone at school. They know I'm going to use that phone in case of emergency, call mom or call dad. But as you get older, everything's accessible now, everything. And
That is
so
true.
it's like it's a walk-in library, anywhere in the world. I don't know if you remember that app called Periscope.
Yeah,
I
that was a long
enjoyed it
time
for a
ago.
while, but that thing was tweeting 24 hours a day. I was like, who's on here now? But one of the greatest things was I remember when there was a guy, an Egyptian brother, who wanted to show the pyramids. So he was driving up and around the pyramids. And this is like in living color, it was his opportunity
Wow.
to show that part of the world. And somebody
Hmm.
showed the Vatican, and somebody was in Sweden. And all this was done inside of 24 hours. So I'm saying we couldn't have done that before.
True, true,
We couldn't have
true.
done that before. So I think it's okay. It is an advantage. But the thing we have to remember is we don't control that phone.
What do you mean we don't control it? You mean
Well,
we don't
well, for
control it?
instance, certain agencies, you let's say you and I were doing something bad in the street, and
Yeah,
we say wipe out your information, Revels, but and I wipe it out. Then a detective comes in, he knows the code, universal code that can open up your phone, and then open up all your text messages and anything you deleted.
I was told that the things you think you can delete are really never deleted. It's
They're
like
never
in a
deleted.
storage bin,
Yeah,
put away, and then they can retrieve all that. So people have to be to
very,
me,
very, very
very
careful.
careful or selective about showing themselves out, eating, who they're dining with, or I mean, unless they want to have some sense of privacy, because there's actually no
There's actually no
privacy.
privacy,
Yeah, none.
no privacy whatsoever.
Now I got to back up before we go to
Hmm.
our guests. How in the world did you get started along the path of numerology, sir?
Mm. Well, in college, I was always into meditation, stumbled across martial arts, from Korean style taekwondo. Got tired of my feet getting swollen because all they use is their feet. They don't use nothing else,
Mhm, mhm,
And got into Shotokan one summer like that. Got into Tai Chi, and for some reason, I like the slow moving. And at the time, it wasn't about self defense. It was just getting in touch with the deeper part of yourself.
Sure,
So
sure.
here I was doing meditation in 1971, sophomore year, freshman, sophomore. Tai Chi my senior year in college, 73, 74. Stayed with that for about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Just experimenting, not trying to be a black sash or nothing. I just knew I had a lot of inner cleansing to do. I was
Mhm,
walking around with a lot of emotional pain and hurt, and I
mhm.
knew that that would cool me out. So after graduating from college, one of my mother's younger brothers lived in South Plainfield, New Jersey, and he calls up his sister, which is my mother Grace, and my nickname back in those days was Buster. So he says, "What's Buster doing?" And he said, "He ain't doing nothing. He just always out, graduated. I need some help. Let me talk to him over the phone." He said, "Young man, I need some help. I need you to come down here to South Plainfield. I'll give you directions on the bus and all, and I'll pick you up at my second job. And I need somebody to help me pay the rent and help keep me in line. And I looked at my mother and says, "What are you talking about keeping in line?" "Well, your uncle, he likes to read them 4-digit, 2-digit track numbers. He probably blown a lot of money." So
Yeah, yeah,
you'll be
yeah,
down
because
there
it will take your
reminded not
money.
to blow his money.
Yeah, yeah.
So I started, going with him, and we wound up going to a flea market one Saturday, farmer's market. And as he pulled up across the street, I saw this guy with tons of books on the table, like 3 and 4 table, just books like this, man. If you were 6 feet tall, you could snatch the book off the shelf. That's how many books he had. And so I was
Wow.
rummaging through, and he said, "Hey, take any book you want." He said, "The big thick books are $1, thin books are 50 cents, and the real thin ones, you can get them for a dime." I said, "Really?" He says, "All used books." So I stumbled across an astrology book, big unabridged book, took that for $1, got home, read it, read it. I said, "None of this makes sense. I have to know something about what's an ephemeris. I don't know what the heck that is." Got his encyclopedia, looked up ephemeris. I said, "This is just too much math for me. I need something simple." So,
Mhm.
but I'll keep the book. Something says keep the book. So I go back, and he said, about a week later, he said, "Hey, how did you like that book?" I said, "It was too much math, man. I don't know how. I don't want to. I thought I wanted to be an astrologer, but no, I don't want no.
Yeah, a lot of math is required in certain stages. Now the computers
Yeah."
do it for you, but at that time, go ahead.
So I went in, and he says, "Well, look, I got a deal for you. Take any 6 books for $1. I don't care
Hmm,
what the price is. Any 6 books." So I was forging, and who slips out into my hand? Kevin Quinn Avery and Kiro's Book of Numbers.
yeah, yeah. They're in
And
my
that name
collection too.
Kiro stuck in my mind. So I started flipping through, and all he could hear behind the mounds of books, like, "Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's my mom. Yeah, that's my dad. Yeah, well, I want this book." I quit, and them books were like libraries to me. I
Mm-hmm.
read them until the pages worn out. Then I got more of the same book and I started studying, and it became a hobby for me. So that was the summer of 1974. It was just a hobby. And then about 3 years later, I was coming home from a job, and one of my first cousins was at my mom and her sister's house where we were staying. And he said, "Hey, your mom says you're studying numbers." So I look at my mom like, oh, you tell him, it's just a hobby right now, And I didn't know that my mother was deep, deep, deep into metaphysical stuff. She's waiting on me to see what I'm going to do. She never said anything to me at the kitchen table. I was studying those books. So basically, it boiled down. I said, yeah, I could give me a date of birth. He gave me a date of birth, and I started telling him. He said, "Wait a minute, you know me. Let me give you a girlfriend's date of birth." I gave me the date of birth. I said, "You two ain't compatible, but it's not gonna work." And I started doing it. So he asked me to do it, an analysis, a further analysis,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know. I didn't know from one thing to the next. I said, I got. Let me think about it. So the next day, I was at this job and I get laid off. I was saying, why did I get laid off? Had no clue why I got laid off. Here
Mm-hmm.
I was standing on the unemployment line a couple of weeks later, didn't see him come back to the house. And I was just, God, like, tell me where I'm supposed to be. I can't keep a job. As simple as the job is, I can't keep a job. So from now on out, you tell me where I'm supposed to be, and I'll follow. Sitting up, next person to be called was me. And this voice said, "Go home now and don't look back." I was like,
Really?
yeah, like that. I'm looking around. I said, my back is against the wall. So who's behind me telling me that?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
I went down the stairs. They were calling my name. I kept going down the stairs,
Even though they were calling your name at the time,
calling my name. I was the next person up. I knew I was the next person up. And I something
and you
said,
just follow spirit.
I just followed spirit. I got outside. It was a drizzly rain. I felt like a big relief off my shoulders. Got back now to my aunt's house. Here's this cousin pulls up. I couldn't get here a couple of weeks ago. I'm here now. So what are you going to charge me? And I go, two for 37. Using my numbers, two for
Yeah.
37.
Yeah.
He reeled off $40. I said to myself, purification in memory. Purification in memory is 40. Went upstairs, and we didn't have computers. So I was typing this
Yeah.
chart out
Yeah. They had, yep.
for him.
Typewriters. Yep.
And them typewriters were, stiff to type the keys, if you're not
Mm-hmm.
into it. But I did his chart. Then when I went to Jersey, I used to do my uncle's, and he used to have a way with taking the magic box and figuring out 3-digit numbers to play. And he said,
Really?
"Yeah, you did mine, and my numbers were in here, man. Don't give up this thing you doing about numbers because I didn't hit 3 times this week."
I guess so.
So,
Yeah.
that's how it got started. I just kept going. And then my brother and I used to hang out at the Tree of Life bookstore. So one Wednesday, I was up there after a temple meeting. We went there from Queens, and Dr. Moore was in the front. And he saw me around the table where the flyers were. He said, "Young man, can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a numerology buddy." "A what?" "A numerology buddy." I said, like you got a pen pal. I'm looking for somebody that knows just a few things that I don't know. Well, go to that table and see that there with the 7, Lloyd Strayhard. And when I looked at the pattern of numbers, it was like your whole name was in my head. I got to call this brother. And that was in November. And then you and I linked up on December the 7th. I took that
Of
short
1978.
in
Yeah.
1978.
Yeah.
And
And we've been buddies ever since too.
I walked in with that big bag, and you said, "What you got in there?" I said, "People." And you looked in the bag and you said, "Oh my God." You took me over to Kanye and said, "Kanye, he's going to teach beginners numerology, and I'm going to go on and teach the next level for the summer." And there you go.
Yeah, and that's it.
1979, I was teaching.
And when I came to radio in 81, you were my very first guest. And when I ended in 2001, you were my very last guest. So we have that
What a
special
time.
bond. Now, listen, there's a
Mhm.
lot of people waiting in the comments, but first of all, let's talk about this book in relation to the workshop you're going to be giving.
Yeah, this is actually an 18-week course called The Key to Life is Numerology. And people are going to learn how to understand numbers in their names, in their date of birth. We're going to basically just about what you see in the book. Everybody should get the book because they can have it as an additional reference. These courses, classes, there will be live video training with me and all the other students. Now, because I'm teaching this course, I'm going to have the cutoff point is going to be 15, no more than 20 people, because each class every week, starting February the 1st, which is a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Minimum time is about 90 minutes, but if I have too many people, then I got to stretch it out to 2 hours. Um, It'll be 18 weeks. So the first three classes are back to back. The fourth class is a review of those first three classes. And then what's going to happen is there'll be classes every week, but somewhere in between, there might be a couple of review
Hmm,
pieces
hmm.
that people are going to need. And here's the key for everybody. As a student, enrolled student, after each class, which is live recorded class, I'm going to send you a copy of that class so you have it to go over. And I may also send a little short video summary of the class to give you some tidbits and high points to remember. So it's going to be very interesting.
That's great. That's great right
We
there.
have an early bird fee. A lot of people have jumped on it too soon, but hey, they wanted to jump on it, and I know they're my students out here. So early bird rate is $297. And since so many people jumped in and they heard me advertising on YouTube, it's supposed to start January the 2nd, but you can knock it out and at least pay 100 toward it if you're going to do the 297, but you have to be completed with the price by 12 midnight on January the 18th. After that, it goes to the regular price of $400, but you get 4 weeks to pay it off, that $400. So you'll be able to pay $400 from January the 19th to February 19th, even though the class began on February the 1st.
Well,
So,
I think it's a lot and what you're putting into it. And I know this, you are one of the most ultimate professionals in the field of numerology. So that's for sure. How can people get
well,
in
what they're going
touch
to
with
do,
you? Go ahead.
they're going to email me.
Hold on.
Uh,
Let me put on your banner.
yeah. They should
Okay, there we
email me
go.
first because usually the way my phone is set up, if your phone is not in my system, it'll just bump you to like a spam or and I do that because I get a lot of thousands of spam calls. So you should email first, say, hey, Brother Francis, can you send me all the information of how to pay you? I mean, you can pay me through PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, things of that nature,
Mhm.
and say that you want the early bird fee. Once your payment transaction is completed, I will send you the Zoom link. If you are taking it at the $400 level, then I'm not going to wait till you complete the 400 because you're going to be added into the class to start with everybody else on February the 1st. So I have a private Zoom link that we're going to be using live video. So they need to email me at iam.circleofgrace1@gmail.com.
And that's it at the bottom of the screen on your banner. I'll
Yeah.
repeat that again so they know.
Yeah. Email is iam.circleofgrace with the number one at the end at gmail.com.
Okay, good,
So
good, good.
don't send the payment in yet. Contact me first so we can see how many people are in there. Because I don't think I'm going to do beyond 15 or 20 people, you
So
know.
in other words, you're going to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, because
So it's like a first come, first serve basis.
first come first serve basis, and we want to make sure everybody can get this information. And when the course is over, they're getting additional information. I got some stuff audio stuff that I'll be sending them in regards to numerology, some tidbits, extras, So they're gonna get a lot of stuff.
All right, good, good. Well, what we're going to do, my friend, is we are going to open up the phone lines. And by the way, before we do that, we have a number of your books too.
Hmm.
Um, this book here that's on the screen.
Yeah, that's book number 2, The Wisdom of Akhenaten as I Am. That's basically a channeled book. It's a book of my remembrance in the ancient Egypt times with him, as well as Nefertiti, and the things that I learned, the things that they taught. They were pretty deep people. They had the ability to look at you just like we do today as an astrologer, numerologist, palmist, straight gifted psychic, look at you and tell what your path is going to be like, what you're going to be doing for your life. Now, this doesn't mean that they were readers. They just had that gift. They were in touch with their higher self, their most ancient side, their, you want to say, their galactic side, but they
Mm-hmm.
had an ability. Akhenaten and Nefertiti were the first people to master the Kundalini in the body.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was one of the things that the pharaohs and the queens had to do. That's why the headdress had the serpent sitting up there. Some had one, some had two, some had three, some had one with the hawk sitting, meaning that the crown was wide open. Akhenaten only had one, which means he merged them all together as one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What about this book here? Did you cat out too? Decree and it
And it
shall
shall
be.
be. Yeah,
Speak
that
as
book is
I am.
loaded with uh how to write an affirmation for yourself, how to write an affirmative prayer, and what that is, the importance of prayer. And I get the student into writing their own prayer. At the end, they will be able to write their own prayer. And if I could tune them up enough through meditation, they will be able to roll out a series of affirmations and decrees without having to sit down and write it. Just open their heart up and speak it.
And this one here.
The Age of Remembrance, the Divine I Am Presence in Selenite. I've been in touch with the gemstone selenite since 1988, and that book is partially channeled. And it gives somebody the in-depth ability to work with selenite in particular. That's my main. Everything in my residence in here is selenited.
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, selenite is a
Well, for
very
those who
easy
may
gem
not
to work with.
understand, for those who may not understand or just hearing the word the first time, selenite,
Mhm.
what do you mean by selenite?
Well, selenite actually, what we have to understand is that we don't really go out and say, I'm going to buy a stone, a gemstone, or I'm going to get some copper to wear. Your body is carrying all of the trace minerals. So, in reality, if you're drawn to selenite, inside your body, you carry selenium, Selenium. So certain nuts like macadamia nuts have it. Spinach has it. I think it's in kale. People that eat seafood is in there too. And so the selenium, as well as the selenite, gives the body greater elasticity in the skin. And over a period of time, now this is not overnight, but over a period of time, you start looking a little bit more youthful. The more you work with the gemstone, especially if you put it on your body, it also will straighten out crooked joints a little bit. If you know how to work energy, like sound, I have a piece that I use. It's in my bedroom. I have two pieces. One is called a thigh bone because that's how big it is. It's this big around and like this, about 14, 18 inches long. It's got some weight to it, but it's used to generate a lot of energy. And I have another one that I actually can blow my breath through, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
vibrate a certain sound. But what it does is it actually changes the conditions around you.
Okay. Listen, we got many, many people. So what we're gonna do, since this is the last show of the year, to kind of keep it tight a little bit. Let me go way back to we have this person here. Wow. They chimed in at 4:30, way before
Whoop.
I even put the thing on. But anyway, so we're gonna do D Town Queen B. Namaste, Lloyd. Namaste, namaste to you. Please, may I please have a numerology reading? She's born, and since we're talking about sevens today, the first
Mhm.
person, and believe me, not making this up, they're born on May the 7th.
Right. Now the way I kind of look at things here, she's a May 7, so she's a Taurus 7. Taurus is
Yes,
a, we know is a fixed earth sign. So
yes.
when she says she knows what she knows what she knows. If she tells you I don't know it, take her word for it. She just told you the truth. I don't know that. So she's not going to lie about anything, or she's not going to make something up to make it sound good. Since it's a single digit 7, she likes things to be a little bit more simplified and more down to earth. She is a very emotional person, very psychic, very intuitive in her own way. And with that nature of that 7, she might be good with math, just basic math. She would make an excellent teacher. Um, Her birthday was this year in 2022. So the way I do it, she entered a 9 personal year. 5 plus 7 is 12, which is 3
Now
in
that's what I
2022.
was gonna ask you because I got two. I got a couple of metaphysical colleagues. I think you know them both. They should be
Yes.
nameless right now,
Yeah.
and it says that it don't start till
Your birthday.
yeah. Now, to me, there are two cycles. One goes from birthday to birthday. That's the Rosicrucians,
Mm-hmm.
okay, broken into 7 phases of 52 days each. Got
Mm-hmm.
that. And then this one goes by taking the month, the day, and the year you're born. So, in other words, what personal year will she be in for next year then?
Okay. When her birthday arrives next year, she'll be in a 1 personal year. Right now, she's in a 9.
She's
So
in a 9 all the way through May of next year.
all the way until May the 6th of next year, she's sporting a 9. And so to me, that means it's about beginnings and endings, cleaning her plate, cleaning her mind, start thinking about some things you want to accomplish. In fact, last year, when I see it as an 8 personal year from last year, she may have started some projects to do. And so the 8 and the 9 personal year is a time to just kind of feel it out, see if she wants to do it or scrap it. And then when she jumps into a 1 personal year on her next birthday cycle coming up, then she could start out fresh.
How long have you been reading people like this? Because here's how I do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I take the month, the day, and the year that I'm about to enter.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to enter 2023, the year of the 7. So to me, she will be in a 1 personal year
Yeah,
for
that's
next
the
year
year.
and don't
Yeah,
have to wait till May.
right, right. So this came about because I had a lot of clients, and as you know, we attract the people that we can help.
Yes.
And it was not getting through to them when I did it that way. So I did a lot of soul searching, a lot of twisting upside down. And I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like a man on the street. I got a lot of friends on Long Island, and I would just start walking up to them. So give me your date of birth, and I would start talking about the year before, you know, and they started going like, "Yeah, that did happen. Yeah, I did feel that way." So then, after doing about 50, 60 of those, I said, "Okay, that's 60% out of 100." Just like a baseball player who bats 375, that means 3 times out of 10 he gonna get on base. He's not going to strike out. So I took that approach. It seemed to fit well for me, and it's very comfortable. I started that about 1980, 1988, right around in there.
I've always done it that no matter what it is, I take the month, the day, and the year I'm born. And when we enter that year, that is their personal year. Then 2 will be the personal month for January. 3 will be the personal month for February, whatever the case is. But
Hmm.
listen, as long as it works, but it seemed that formula I've been doing for decades seemed to work very well for me. Only with
Well,
Brandon
it, it,
Smith,
it
my buddy.
because our minds work in different ways. I was thinking about this earlier today that I wanted to say. A person, when you start getting into numerology and astrology, keep in mind the computer was based on us. We're constantly calculating stuff all day long without realizing it. We're constantly computing frequencies of numbers. So at some point, there are going to be some people that you read that if I give that information to, it's not going to fit them because that's not where they are in their life. It doesn't mean they're on the wrong platform. They're just not vibrating to that. So we all vibrate to like mind. So the people that come to me, they fit in that zone that I'm talking about.
Well, obviously, the people that come to me fit in the zone that I'm used to dealing with, or at least I've never had anybody contradict me. But there's so many people. So what we'll do in theory, we'll discuss that later on. But let's kind of keep it short because there's so many people wanting
Yeah,
to
we're
get
gonna
to you.
get
What
deep.
about Tarzada White? She did it at 516. She's born on the 2nd of September.
Wow. Now that's a unique number. That in 1969, that adds the seven. So
Yep,
her life path or destiny number is a nine.
yep, yep,
And when
yep.
you have that nine, that means you're here to take it everything into consideration and utilize it. But at the same time, you got to work with the water side, the emotional side of yourself. She's pretty grounded because she's Virgo, but Virgo is a sign that they say that's mutable, that they can adapt to situations. So she's constantly adapting all the time. I would say for you, um, Torsiata, don't let people push you around. Okay, you can adapt. All right, which means if you're not in agreement with somebody, you'll go, okay, well, I can see it your way. Don't do that anymore. Because your life path number is a nine. Plus, you're born in the ninth month. And people born in the ninth month are naturally natural fighters. They fit that phrase, don't start nothing and won't be nothing.
Nothing.
So
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
pick on nine vibrations. Okay. The two is sensitive, the two is a diplomat, and you need to follow your heart. She needs to follow her heart.
Okay, let's do this one here. She's Jamel Kennedy. Good evening. Can she get a reading? Jamel, March the 11th of March of 1988.
Ooh, now look at that. Now, people say, okay, there's a master number at the end of her birth year. But what that kind of tells me, any double digit that's the same in a birth year means that sometimes you might change your mind. So you might start out with one particular plan, and by the latter part of the day, you will have changed your mental focus. You will have changed your direction because you're not certain as to how you're going to carry through the process of your day. But you're born on the master number 11. Okay. Now that 11 is the one who can dream up all kind of ideas. You know, it comes in the series of the two. We don't actually reduce it, but a person like me gets a little daring, and I'll do it sometimes if I need to bring a
Yeah,
additional information. But
sure,
it's a
sure.
one and a one. So think of it. Her masculine pole energy, her solar energy is a one, and her lunar energy is a one. So she's a very strong-willed person. My gut feeling tells me you're supposed to do something involving art or music. You don't have to be the person that steps out on stage and sings songs or compose this music and play it for people, but music is very soothing for you. In fact, I see chimes and gongs around her, and so this vibration that she carries, this is a very unique. That 1988, 88 is seven, and one and nine is one. So her birth year is an eight. So she's actually, her life path or destiny numbers is four. It might be a 22 in there, but I just, flashed it down to a four. So it's
Hmm.
all about
Hmm.
organization and structure. That's what she's here to learn about, but she's going to teach that to other people as well.
Okay, good. I have one that just chimed in, and this is very interesting. This person, Kale Colors, they says, "Hi, my first time checking out numerology is a little overwhelming. How can or what suggestions do you have for learning it at a more easier pace? Please
Well,
advise." you.
Yeah, an easier pace is, and Lloyd will tell you too. Yeah, it is a lot. It's just like astrology. It's a lot of information.
Yes, it
One of
is.
the first things to do is just understand how to get a value out of a name. And so Lloyd teaches it, and I teach it. I'm quite sure his students do too. You look up something called the modern numerology alphabet or modern Pythagorean alphabet. And so this allows you to capture the value of letters. In other words, on a sheet of paper, you write across the top 1 through 9, and then you write out the alphabet until you fill up the rows. So each letter or series of letters falls under a number. Then you get a book that shows you the basics of what those numbers mean. And I always tell a lot of students learn three quote unquote positive meanings and three quote unquote negative meanings, just to give yourself a balance between the two. Start
Mm-hmm.
there. Don't try to master anything. Try to get familiar with the numbers.
Okay.
And then the next thing would be adding up the numbers and looking at the date of birth, the numerical day that you're born on. That's the next one.
Do you teach numerology courses?
Yeah, I got this big course that's coming up. This is the course that of all courses. I actually should have split it in half.
This
And
is your key to numerology that's coming up soon, right?
yeah, this is called The
Okay.
Key to Life is Numerology. If they get the book, and here's the book. If they get this book on Amazon there's no Kindle. So you get it on Amazon for $25. You could follow along very easily. I use one iconic figure in the book, and you'll be able to understand how his numbers attracted certain life patterns and situations of numbers. But the whole
Okay.
idea with numerology is keep computing the numbers till you get them down to a single digit. Just keep doing that. Get comfortable with that.
Yeah,
Taking
that's
any
what's so
series of
tricky. It's
numbers.
like 1 + 1 is 2. I got this. But
Yeah,
that
but
thing is a little bit more complicated than it's
there,
led on. That I could
yeah,
say.
but that's how you can start. And then numerous Lloyd has got tons of books. That's my first book. But there's numerology books all over the place. Get them if you feel comfortable with them, flow with them, study them. And like I say, study them till the cover runs off the page, runs off the book, and then you'll get it.
Now here's another one. Lakeisha Renee, and she is in Aries, same day as Aretha Franklin. And what is that name? I'll think of it in a second. But anyway, she's born
Hmm.
on March the
25th.
25th. Yes.
Wow. And
Chaka
she,
Khan is her birthday.
oh, Shaka Khan. Okay.
March 25th. Yes.
Well, I'm going to deal with the 3 and the 25. Okay.
Okay, got
25
you.
personalities, they are true seekers of truth. They like everything, they will look at everything. They make pretty good detectives. They will research and then double check and triple check themselves. Now, as I mentioned earlier, when we talked about the year 2023, you don't say 25, you say 25, right? So when you're
Hmm.
looking at this, 20 is the root compound number. You're here to make changes in your life, transform your life, overcome a lot of obstacles that are going on. And then you've got out of the 20 is a 2. So you got to create harmony and balance. And 5, you have naturally inquisitive, but don't move too quick into everything. Really kind of take your time, pace yourself. 2 plus 5 is 7. So just like the other person, but this is the higher end scale of the 7 series, 7, 16, and 25.
Hmm.
Seven, sevens, fours, and eights are like what I call the old soul numbers. So you guys have been around a long time. When somebody's telling you a story, you kind of calculate in your head, that's real, that's not real, that's real. I don't know about that. I'll wait. I got to get some more information. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
25 is the seeker of truth, and it will get the information very quickly. Now, 3 plus 7 is 10, which is 1. And so I'm going to use my concept. Your birthday was 2022 this year. Okay. Whatever that year was for you, that 6 plus the 3 and 25 is 8. All right. And so 3 and 5 is 8, so that added to a 1. So it looks like you have a 9 personal year number going on for yourself, and then it'll end around the day before your birthday. Then you step into the 1. So what you should be doing right now is making sure you're not overwhelming yourself with stuff. That's going to be very important. Do not overwhelm yourself with anything. That also has to be with family members and friends, And that 25 is a very powerful number because it's an Aryan 7. It's not just any old 7.
Question. She is born March the 25th. What personal year did you say she will be in for next year?
I think I had her going, well, starting, let me do this again.
Because I got a
Okay, hold
different
on.
energy.
Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. So this year she's in a 7, and on her birthday next year she'll
She'll be in
she'll
an 8.
she'll be in an 8.
Okay. Okay. Good enough. I just want to check because.
Well, that's the trick of numerology. Our minds are computing and pulling digits and pulling them out of the hat.
Okay. Now, this is Lisa Jones. She says she can't wait to have a reading, please. It's interesting that a lot of Tuesdays seem to be getting through. She's born on the 29th of May.
hmm Now 29 is a powerhouse number to me, because when you reduce it, it's going to come down to a hidden master number 11 in there, and then you get the vibration of 2. But you're here to really work with your emotions. That's what I'm picking up, because it's a water element, it's a fire element, right? All mixed in there together. And plus, you're coming under the sign of Gemini, which is an air sign. So you're going to be having, not that you're going to be struggling with your thoughts, you're just going to have to strike a balance between what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And definitely go with your gut feeling as much as you can. And being that 29 is a 2, you're in a 4 personal year this year. It began on your birthday. So put your house in order. I don't think anything out of the ordinary is going to happen other than a breakthrough. You're going to have a very big breakthrough for yourself. You're going to be really excited.
Good. The one on March the 25th said, thank you.
Oh, you're
That's
welcome.
what she put. This is an interesting question. Can you answer for this person? J.M. McClinton. How do I figure out my number?
Okay, well, there's so many different ways. Like in my course, some people say, "Oh, I added my month, day, and year up, and I got that. Is that my
Yeah,
number?" I said, "Well,
yeah,
that's the number
yeah,
you came to learn about.
yeah,
The number
yeah.
you were born on is your number. So the numerical calendar day is your number. So let's say, Mr. and Miss McClinton, if you were born on the 26th of January, you are a number 8 person, but you happen to be an Aquarian 8. And when I look at it, you're a 26-8. So you're a little different than a regular 8 person. You see, an 8 is
Mhm,
Saturn, which is have a Capricorn influence on the top side coming in on Aquarius. And so you have very interesting friends. And so if you had that number, that 26 that added to 8, or a 7 or a 4 as its root number, all
mhm.
of your friends are usually older than yourself. Your mates are older than yourself. You get along with people that are older than you, not with people that are the same age or younger than you. That's if you're born on a birthday calendar number. So the birthday calendar number is your first and foremost number. Now, people might say, well, what about my name? Well, anybody can change their name at any point. So that is not your number. And Lloyd can tell you too. We've met people who try to get a number, try to give themselves a master number, and be careful with that. That's like taking on a very powerful name. I knew a guy that wanted to be called Aziz. I'm a warrior, and then he started meeting people in the street who were true street warriors, and he was like, I don't know why I'm always in a fight all the time because you don't have the right name.
That's what he was attracting.
He was
Uh,
attractive. Yeah.
This person here, this was easy. Janice, she
Hmm.
says, so I was born on the 19th. Am I a number 9? Can you
No,
clarify that for her, please?
you're not a number 9. You're born on the 19th. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So you're
Exactly.
number 1 person backed by a number 19. So in numerology, sometimes we call the 19 the Prince of Heaven, highly favored individual. You make an excellent leader. Sometimes you're thrown into leadership positions and you don't want them, but that means naturally you're the one that people are going to rely on. But once you make up your mind, there's no stopping you. And it'll be like, you ask me to lead, back up and let me lead.
Now, this person here, she was right on point. Stephanie Butler, she says she has so much fire in my chat. What does that mean?
So much fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's born
in your chart?
November the 28th, 1971.
71.
She's triple fire to me,
Wow. Well, yeah, because she's Sagittarius, and
which is
then
a
that's a Jupiter rule, and Jupiter is a fire planet,
mhm.
and I think it's a masculine fire planet. And
Yes, it is.
then 28, that's a 10, which is a 1. And then the year that you are born in, well, the year that you're born in, I think it's a 9.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
yeah. So yeah, you got a lot of fire in there.
Yeah.
So now you're born in the 11th month. So you could like water it down just a tad, but the 11 means that you are born with a lot of power to achieve and get something done. We're the ones that are choosing when to come in on the planet. So you got all that fire that you were born with because you're here to make something happen, whether it's on a big scale or a small scale. I would think that you're an entrepreneur, but the number 28 says you may not trust everybody that you meet.
That's interesting because this is Barry Gordy's birthday, the founder of Motown
Hmm.
Records. But you are absolutely, and she's absolutely correct. She's a fire sign with a fire number, born in a fire year.
Yeah,
And we know that people ruled by the element of fire are more proactive about things. They
yeah. They
don't
don't
allow it
wait.
and go. They're just energized,
Hmm. They get
Little
stuff
like
done.
that. Yeah. So okay, good, good. Let me go to one of this one. Okay, so this person here says, so my life path is a 5, but the day I was born on is
Hmm. 311.
yes, 311. And we read one body just 311 too.
And this person's got a birth year that's a 9. So
Yes.
yeah, they're correct. Actually, from three to 11 is 14 and 9. That gives them a 23, which is a 5. The, Elaine, you have the ability to be a thriver and not someone that just surviving from day to day. So you might be a person that might strive to get a paycheck, but you might be out there trying to create a paycheck. So that 11, as I say, are the dreamers and the diplomats all the way around. Doesn't matter what sign they fall into, and being under the sign of Pisces, you like to bring everybody together. You like understand the chemistry of things, and you have this underlying vibration from the 3 to the 11, which gives you the 5 anyway. So the your inner side of that number means you're here to talk, communicate, articulate, and be free about it all at the same time.
Now, the one thing though, because her question says her life path is a 5. That
Hmm.
means for those that don't
That's what
understand
she
the
came to
science of
learn.
Rebel Bay, and I
Yeah,
do, that
yeah,
means she took the month, the day, and the year she's born and added up to the 5. The
yeah.
way I
So,
explain it to people
hmm
is now, we say destiny, birth path, life path, there's
hmm
interchangeable numbers. But I've found talking to clients that if I said, well, your birthday suggests you're in the 5th grade in the school of life, that seems
hmm
more digestible because we know when we're in a certain grade, you got to learn
right,
something.
right,
You want to go to the next level. But
right.
she is right. She was born, but the day she was born on is the most important number. And I think that Revels Bay and I agree. So the birthday represents the long term, but
hmm
the date of birth represents the short term.
right,
Would you
right.
would you kind of be on the
Yeah,
same path with
and
that?
what's interesting, if we were to do a linear chart, the number three represents the first 27, 28 years of her life,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but you got the 11 is sitting in there, and then you got the birth year with the 9 is sitting in there, all stacked. And then when you move from age 29 to 56, the birth month number 3 slides off, and now you're working with the 11 and the birth year number. They're kind of stacked. And then when you hit 56 going into 57, the birthday number kind of slides away. This is when you're a senior, and now you're you could work the birth year number better. Why? Because the other two digits help you maintain structure and stability in your life. So the most important number is the birthday number, the calendar day number that she's born
That's
on.
exactly right. Exactly.
That gives you all your attributes all the time, what to do, what not to do. You know, your life path number being a 5, you could fall off the horse. You still got the 11. Still got the 11, pull yourself back up and use what you were born with.
Yeah, that's Rupert Murdoch's birthday. I got
Mhm.
one as a father and daughter combination right
Wow.
here. It's Edwin Thompson. He is
Hmm.
born on the 12th of October of 1981. Oh, excuse me, not his daughter, his girlfriend. Excuse me. There's a big difference.
Okay. And the
What say
girl.
you about this relationship between Edwin and his lady?
Okay. Well, we have to do something that I call teachers. Okay. So first we got to find out what the destiny number is, and just give me a quick moment. So his all of his numbers added up to 2003. Might have been a significant time for him because right around that time he could have been like at age 22. So that adds to a 5. His life path
Yep,
is a 5.
yep,
You
yep.
take the 5 and add it to the 12, and he gets the number 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Now, I'll tell you what that means in a second. So then you
Yeah,
have
'cause I was about to ask you, but go right ahead,
we
pull
got
his
his
lady.
girlfriend. Okay. So he says 1987. Oh,
Yes.
she's born on the 7th and then on the 14th day. So 6, 7, that's 13. And wow, look at that.
Yeah, they both have 5 destinies.
On the same year pattern,
Yeah, yeah,
2003.
yep, yep,
So
yep.
now you add her 5 to the 14, that gives you 19, which is a 1. Okay. So his this is what I call the angle of destiny. This is what happens when people are asking this question, which is more important, and then how do I use them together? You
Mhm.
take the birthday number and you add that to the life path or destiny number, and it's going to give you a number. And so in his case, the 12 is a very creative kind of energy, and it takes in everything. It's almost like, think of like the 12th sign of the zodiac, which is Pisces. And he's here to learn how to be able to express himself clearly. 12 plus 5 is 17. What tells me about this, Mr. Edwin, is that people will always remember who you are with that number, that nature of the 17. People are not going to forget who you are. That and this is the crux of the situation. When you speak your mind, they're going to go back to what you said and how you said it. So the 17 reduces to an 8. Pull out your wisdom, okay? Be a little gentle when you deliver the truth, because they're always going to remember how you said it, not so much what you said. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's his angle of destiny. Her angle of destiny is a 1, and she's here to learn how to stand up for herself. Now, when you put these together, because she's got that 19, the Prince of Heaven, being highly favored, she knows things can work out for her. When you put these things together, this is what happens. So you add the 8 to the 1, and it gets a 9. If I'm not mistaken, his birth key numbers would be 3, 6, and 9. Okay.
That's exactly correct.
Okay. And then here she has, and I may have to double check. He said her birthday was the
February
second
the
month.
14th. February the 14th.
Okay. Let me back this up a little bit.
And hers was in back 1987, which is right here.
Okay. Okay. Let me just back this up. 13. Yeah. Okay. We have a slight correction here. 13. 10. Well, it still came out. I still had it. I just went through it really fast.
Sure,
So,
sure.
so she doesn't have it. Her number is like a 541 kind of vibration,
Exactly
or
right. Exactly right.
or alternative numbers 2 and 7. Okay, so here's the kicker. He's actually the teacher of the relationship, but not so much forward with it, because the 9 was at the end of his
Mm-hmm.
birthday
Mm-hmm.
number. So
Mm-hmm.
he's the one that's going to be more of the directive quality. And what she's going to be able to do, she's going to be able to shift. So if he says, "Well, baby, let's go this way," she's going to go, "I can see that. I can see how you do," because she's got the 14. She says, I can see how you can do that."
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
then what's going to happen? She's going to go, "Well, while we're doing that, try this."
Got you. Got you.
So they're going to be able to work together. I don't
Yeah,
see
they're
them
both
working
air
against them.
signs too. You
Huh?
know, he a Libra. They're both air
Yeah.
signs. He a Libra. She is the
But
Aquarius. So
yeah, she's a fixed air sign though. It's a little
yes,
different. But
yes,
she's
that
got the
is true.
14. She's not that fixed. She's
And he's a
willing to
cardinal
work.
sign. He's a
Yeah,
cardinal air sign.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. We have this one, then we'll take one more, and then we'll see how people can get in touch with you. This is Jaden Sirora, I guess.
Hmm.
Sirora. I hope I'm saying it correctly. I've been trying to catch you live for a very long time. Happy to catch this. They've been playing with numerology since the age of 10.
10.
I'd love to hear your comment on my Earth Day coming up soon, which is in a couple of days. And by the way, Mercury's going retrograde tomorrow, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So, what
Mm.
say you about this young lady? And then uh, I want you to talk about your book and your courses and how people can sign up
Okay.
before we sign
Well,
off.
she's another person where everything adds up to 2003. So she's another 5 life path or destiny number. But she's born on the 30th. And the 30th, no matter where it is, in my opinion, is a very deep rooted thinking person. So she's not afraid to go within herself, meditate, think about things that she wants to accomplish and how she's going to pull those things forward. She doesn't have a problem with that. And when we bring those numbers together, the 30 and the 5 is a 35, which is an 8. So it's to her advantage to really draw on wisdom. Now it's interesting. She's born on the sign of Capricorn. So the 30 is a 3, and then she has the astrological sign 8 for Saturn. I give it either a 6 or a 9. It depends on what I feel when I'm working it. And so she's definitely going to stay in touch with her feelings. She's going to be very grounded. She comes across as being a very unique person, and she's very much a teacher. And she has a lot of heart. She really works from her heart. So
Well,
that's what I see there.
what kind of year is she going through for 2023?
Okay, well, as I said, at 20, okay, well, when she hits her birthday, on 12/30/2023. So I have to go on this year, which is a 6, right? So we're looking at 12 and 30 is 42. That's a 6. And this is a universal 6. So she's going to be in a 12, which is a 3 personal year. In my
Okay, I
opinion,
agree. I agree.
and
Very good.
it's
Very
going to
good. We're
ride.
on the same page.
It is going to ride all the way out until the 29th of December of next year. She's still going to be in that 3 personal year. Then she'll enter a 4.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
here's the thing. She's
yes.
in the 3, but when you get into January, 3 plus 1 is the
It's
4
4.
personal month. So she gets a hint of how that 4 personal year is going to come in.
See, for me, she will be entering a 4 personal year and a 5 personal month for January. But listen, I think what I'm going to do is get with all of us numerologists and we work this out. Because anyway, let's take one more. Let's take
Yeah.
Charmaine. She
Hmm.
is born on March the 15th. She is a Pisces,
Wow.
and she
All
made
the
a
Pisces
donation.
are in the
Thank you so
house.
much.
All the Pisces. I'm a Pisces too.
I know, and she's one day before you.
Yeah, yeah. This is very interesting. Her birth year adds to 1. Okay, and we got 315, so that's an 18, and 18. So she has a 1 destiny number.
Yes,
It's
I
all
agree.
about.
I agree.
becoming more independent throughout her life. But the 15 is there. 15 is sort of like a Capricorn energy, I found out over the years. So she is blessed with a lot of wisdom, and she likes being very supportive. This is what I learned too. Anybody in a birth year that adds to one, they are very supportive of other people in their life, but they got to let other people support them as well. They can't do all the work all the time, so that's going to be very important. And since the 8th is 3 and 15 is 18, which is a 9, so she's in a sixth personal year right now. And it's about being in service to others and family members, but also willing to be in service to yourself. Never leave yourself out.
Good, good. Okay, that will be the last one. And I want people to see how they can get in touch with you specifically for counseling. Last time you gave out something just out of spirit. I mean, but
Yeah,
that's your
I
nature.
did
That's how
that
you
at the
roll though.
beginning of the year,
Yeah,
January the 3rd, and I went so long at answering emails. It's
yeah.
like
Well,
I
we
think I
can.
answered over pretty close to 80 emails.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
look, the best way to do this, and
Can they call you
yeah, what you should
for a
do though,
session?
yeah, they can call me for a session. I'll give
Yeah.
this out. This is unique. I'll
Okay.
give this out, and this is good for this is a special. It's good for 30 days from today's show. And what that special is, usually when I do my readings at home, over the phone or online, a 1 hour reading is $200. 45 minutes is $140, and a half hour is 30 minutes.
Hmm.
So if you go to my website, circlegrace1.us, you go in the link that says seekers, and you'll go down and you'll see what each one of those readings represent. I'll knock off $25.
No matter which tier they pick.
No matter which tier they pick, I'll knock off $25 and say, hey, I heard you on Lloyd's show. I would like to get a half hour reading. Instead of you paying $100, you pay 75. It's only good for 30 minutes, 30 days. Count. see, upstairs saying, all right, give him 30 minutes.
No,
But
30
yeah,
days, 30 minutes.
yeah, 30 days. So that means what today's date is the 28th. So it'll be done
January
on
28th.
January 28th. After 12 midnight, no more. So you get $25 off any one of those readings.
Thank you. I want you to hold on because I want you to give a last word. I want to just say a couple of things before I do. Again, this is my good buddy, brother F. Revels, babe. We've been knowing each other for quite some time. Anyway, a couple of things. As you know, next Monday, it'll be a new month, a new day, a new year. So that Monday and Wednesday, I'm going to be hosting my own show, reading as many people as I can, talking about your birth number, your personal year, or any other questions you can have that I think I can intelligently answer. Tomorrow, Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury is the ruler of communications. It rules Virgo and Gemini, respectively, or Gemini and Virgo, call it whichever one you want. And it means that for everybody, because no one is exempt, that they should be very careful of how they communicate, how they say things. Make sure you think before you open up your mouth and say something that you can't take back. Okay. Very important. Phones act up, computers act up, cars act up. There's all kinds of missed signals. So I just wanted everybody to know that that's going to be tomorrow, December the 29th, all the way through January the 18th. All right. It's always 21 days. So if you got anything important, don't assume. Well, you know what I mean, Lloyd. No, I don't know what you mean. That's not the best time to go assuming with anything or anyone about any matter when Mercury is retrograde. Okay. And if you got an appointment, leave a little early, take your time just in case there's a delay or incident that caused some delay. So you're not getting in, you're all frustrated or anxious. Okay. So, everybody, I want to thank you very, very much. And Revels Bay, what say
Yes, sir.
you about parting words, sir?
My parting words are be good to yourself for sure.
That sounds so
Um,
simple.
take care of yourself. If you're one who doesn't exercise, go walking. Sometimes we need to get out and move the body so we can hear what spirit has for us to do. It's now's that time to get a little bit more higher consciousness rolling through your veins. So it's going to be, don't get sidetracked so much. I mean, you can go out, hang out, be with friends, but you don't have to be every place. The one place you need to be is in your own heart. And so do that. Meditate a little bit every day, or if prayer is your form of meditation, or doing artwork, or sewing, or playing music, do it, because that opens you up for higher things and better things to come into your life. And that's what I have to say.
Well, I think that is quite powerful under the circumstances. And don't forget, um, um, Revels Bay is going. He has 3-tier levels of reading that he
Mhm.
offers, and he's also going to discount at $25. Except you must say you saw him here. If you
Right.
don't say that, he ain't giving you nothing. I mean, he's not a mean guy, but
No, I'm not a
all I'm
mean
saying
guy at
is,
all.
if you want to get the discount, you got to mention heard him on Live with Lloyd or Lloyd
Mhm.
Straight One or something of that nature. Okay.
Right, right.
Rebels Bay, thank you so much. That's a great way to end the year of 2022.
And also, I like to say, when you put that in the email, because your phone is not connected to my phone yet. So if you try to call me, it'll just bounce you as if you're a telemarketer. So email me and give me your phone number, then I'll call you back and we'll set up the time.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. That's good. Yeah,
Mhm.
because right now they got so many junk mail callers. It's like crazy.
You don't
Can't
know
even get
who's
to
who.
your own mail. Rebels Bay, God bless you. Thank you for helping me in 2022 on a great note. This is fun. We've been colleagues forever.
Oh
We
man.
will remain that until we reach the other side of the rainbow, as they say.
On the
But
other
this,
side of the rainbow, we'll be over there reading everybody.
and I will say this for the audience so they get a sense of how long we've known each other. Between my experience and Rebels Bay experience, just the two of us, is at least 100 years plus,
Yeah.
which gives a clue of how long we've been doing what we've been doing.
Tree of Life was where it all began. And hanging out there until midnight until Kanye rolled back around and said, "But you
Yep.
all still do it here. Get out."
Yeah. Well, but we learned from the best, and we were very fortunate, I think.
Very
So
fortunate. And we
now,
had no idea where this was going. And here
not
we
a
are.
clue. And
You
now all these guys in the history book, the Tree of Life bookstore. In fact, they're going to put out a special, and they're going to be mentioning the Tree of Life bookstore too.
Mhm.
Anyway, Rebels Bay, God bless you. You take good care of yourself.
Take care, everybody.
Everybody, I want you all to take good care of yourselves. And from Rebels Bay and I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful new year. All right. A safe weekend. Don't forget Mercury is going to be retrograde while the new year comes in. So be careful with driving and indulging and everything like that, because we want you back here the next year and the year after and the year after. Okay. But everybody, in the meantime, take care. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.